Hello friends and welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be painting these marble-like orbs that I created on this very cool background that we're gonna start creating now. After adding our base layer, we can now add a little bit of details, and in this case I'm using a similar color, but it still gives this cool effect. And now it's time to introduce a second color, complementary to the first one, which would be yellow in this case, and I'm spraying it through this fine meshed metal plate that has these really tiny holes. Now this color I'm using, it's actually a transparent spray paint and it's opaque, which is cool because it only gives like this light shimmer, which I really enjoy. And keeping with the yellow scheme from before, we're adding a few splashes and then creating some contrast, adding some brightness with this strong pink. With this layer we want to create some depth and create a focus point for the eye, so that's why we apply the masking tape a little bit thinner on one side than on the other side. Notice how much more depth this painting has already just because of these lines and the focus point we create by making it thinner at one end than the other. But since that wasn't wild enough for me, I started adding these lines, we can call them, within the painting, and I'm just gonna do this with different colors, and it's kind of gonna look like shards, like from broken glass in the end, which is super cool. Thinking of this now, it actually reminds me more of this toy or a thingy that we used to look into, where it would reflect this light in the mirrors and you would see all these different shapes and forms, which was always really crazy and no one actually knew how it works, at least back then. Still don't really know, but I can sort of guess it. Now it's time to create these orbs, and I'm just making sure that we're totally in the middle. And I mean, I use all these round objects that I can just find. This is, for instance, the lid of my bin, but I also like using plates. I mean, anything round works, and yeah, you just go for it. Though I wouldn't recommend using the outside of the masking tape that you're gonna use as a stencil because, well, you're using it so it's gonna get thinner, which is exactly what happened to me. So here I'm using a special masking tape from Tesa, which is actually designed so you can go through curves and make it sort of round So it is a lot faster than covering it with masking tape and then tracing it with a cutting knife, which can be really a pain in the... I'm not gonna say it. Now with the orbs separated from the background layer, we can start painting these orbs or planets or marbles, however you want to call them, and you want to use a pretty dark color and you don't want to go too wild because you already have a pretty wild background and you want to calm down the painting. First set of orbs completed, we can go on to paint the second layer or the second row of orbs, and we're just using the same stencils or plates that we used before. Now it's really up to you what you want to do with these other marbles. I just wanted to create a new effect, so that's why I'm using spray paint for this set and just spraying different colors on top of each other like we're used to seeing also in some of my other videos. For this set of orbs we're also going with a darker theme again to create some contrast. Now for the special orb, because it's the only one that doesn't have a partner, it's the only one with this color theme, so he's gonna go with this darkish gray. The painting is really coming together now, but we still want to create a thick border, black border, so these orbs, these marbles that are the star of the painting, separate themselves from the background. And to further help this effect of separating these orbs from the background, we're gonna add some shades, and to do so we're using black spray paint and we do this whipping motion at an angle where we just put short pumps onto the cap and thereby creating this shade effect. Guys, it's time to reveal the final layer of this painting. I hope you enjoyed this video so far and that you learned something and that it inspires you to create your own paintings. And if it does, let me know in the comments. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I wish you a wonderful day and see you next time. Bye bye.